day viewers, welcome to Golden Good Shepherd Press. My name is Aneka Chikamis.
Welcome to Crystal Education TV Midweek Education News Update. Yes, our education news update now comes to you twice in the week, where we have to review the dailies as they happen from Monday all through to Saturday, Friday, Saturday. But this time we will be doing it twice a week, so we'll have the midweek edition and the weekend edition. And interestingly also, we are engaging the schools. Like we have been doing some of the promo recently, and we told you that schools are partnering with us and they will be involved. That is the press club. So we provide a press support program that gives them an opportunity to participate. Don't go anywhere, stay tuned, and when we come back from the break, I'll lead you into how it is going to go. My name is Just Crystal.
Good day viewers, welcome to Shepherd. My name is Aneka Chikamis.
Welcome back. Yes, on the midweek education news updates, we shall begin with Monday the 19th of September, and that will be coming from Golden Good Shepherd Schools in Kubwa, Abuja, Nigeria. So stay with us as we go to meet the press decks from Golden Good Shepherd School.
Good day viewer, welcome to Golden Good Shepherd Press Deck. My name is Aneka Chikamis Stephanie, SS2 student of this great school in Kubwa, FCT, Abuja. We're bringing you the education news updates from the dailies for Monday 19th September 2022. On Monday 19th September, we had these education stories in some of the dailies nationwide. From Vanguard, we had this: Nigeria misses in top 10 African countries with the best education system. Nigeria is the most populous African country and it's not ranked among the top 10 countries with the best educational system in the dark continent. According to a report by the Business Insider, Africa, Cape Verde is the only country in the West African region that made the top 10. On this day, girl-child education, women empowerment will reduce poverty in Africa. Sanusi. The former governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, that's the CBN, Lamido Sanusi, has said that the scaling up for girls' education and women empowerment in the sub-Saharan Africa will reduce generationally illiteracy and poverty in sub-Saharan Africa. Bajami Amila to meet the Education Minister Education over the ASU strike on Tuesday. The House says it is more worried about the negative consequences of the strike on the future and quality education of Nigerian students. The Speaker of House of Representatives, Femi Gbajabiamila, set to meet with Malam Adamu, Minister of Education, and the leadership of Academic Staff Union of University, ASU. The Guardian captured this one. Early marriage. UNICEF pushes for compulsory education of girl child. The United Nations Children Fund, UNICEF, has pushed for the compulsory education of a girl child as a protection mechanism from the forced early marriage. UNICEF country representative to Nigeria, Mr. Peter Hawkins, spoke with them when he featured as a special guest on the News Agency of Nigeria, NAN, interview program forum in Abuja. Hawkins, who said that the child marriage remained a big issue to the country, urged all stakeholders to look for a way to prevent this from children who are supposed to be in school. And lastly, Vanguard also published this: we're ready to ground Nigerian sports, third mainland bridge. The National Association of Nigerian Students has expressed its readiness to ground the Nigerian Ports Authority and the third mainland bridge in Lagos. In statement signed by its chairman, National Task Force on End ASU Strike Now by Ojo Raymond on Monday, a student body said it is ready to go on a week-long protest till the federal government accedes to its demand on the resolution of the strike action for the Academic Staff Union of Universities. As you know, school has resumed for the 2020 to 2023 academic session, and here at Golden Good Shepherd, learning is our top gear. If you think of the best schools for your children, bring them here. That is it for today from the seats of academic moral and discipline. I am Aneka Chikamis Stephanie.
Yes, welcome back. Now we shall look at Tuesday update, Tuesday the 20th September 2022. And with that will be coming from Joel Models Secondary School press desk, also in Kubwa, Abuja, Nigeria. We head there.
Good day, viewers. Welcome to the Joel Models Secondary School press desk. My name is Amadi Mavis, and I'm a student of this grade school in Kubwa, FCT, Abuja. On Tuesday 28th, we had these education stories in some of the dailies nationwide. On the Sun News, we had the story, UNGA 77, Education Transformation Needed for Inclusive Peaceful World, United Nations Chief. United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres says, education transformation is needed for inclusive peace in the world, saying that no society can enjoy peace without education. Guterres said this on Monday at the end of the third-day Transforming Education Summit organized on the margins of the 77th session of the United Nations General Assembly in United Nations, New York. I regard myself as a lifelong student. Without education, where would I be? Where would any of us be? He asked. On The Guardian, we had why Nigeria needs to pay better attention to basic education. Primary school education takes up the first 6 years of Nigerians' 9-year basic education curriculum, which seeks to give every child resident in Nigeria an adequate foundation for a successful and productive life. The 9-year basic education curriculum (BEC) covers 10 subjects: mathematics, basic science and technology, English studies, religion and national values, cultural and creative arts, business studies, Nigerian language, pre-vocational studies, French and Arabic. This day had this reported. Sanusi calls for a girl child education, women empowerment in Africa. The former Central Bank of Nigerian boss, who was the 14th Emir of Kano, said he had devoted his lifetime to advancing the cause of the girl child, women empowerment and gender equality. On The Sun, 25 American universities scout for Nigerian students at education fair. Thousands of students attended the 21st Annual Education USA College and Career Fair last week in Abuja and Lagos, underlining once again the tremendous and enduring interest in Nigeria for American higher education. Still on The Sun, Subeb applauds Bagudu's effort in raising standard of basic education in Kebbi State. Kebbi State Governor Senator Abubakar Atiku Bagudu has been commended for his continued commitment to the development of basic education in the state. The Executive Chairman of the Universal Basic Education Board, SUBEB, Kebbi State, Professor Suleiman Khalid Jega, stated this in Benin, Kebbi, during the second round of a meeting between the Governor, Chairman of Local Government Education Authorities, Education Secretaries, SUBEB and the Permanent Secretary, Ministry for Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs. Then on Vanguard, Nigeria, the tragic truth hidden in plain sight. As of 2014, Nigeria was classified as Africa's largest economy after it rebased its gross domestic product (GDP), Africa's most populous country, Africa's largest democracy, and a major exporter of oil and gas. But Nigeria is currently facing development challenges, which it must overcome to fulfill its significant potentials. The statistics are, however, not very encouraging, and it has become imperative that the people in control of the government and economy be told the truth. In The Guardian, embrace, adopt a school policy. Obaseki urges Edo citizens. Edo State Governor Godwin Obaseki has urged players in the private sector, members of the political class, and other Edo citizens to adopt a school policy as a way of complementing the state government's effort to reposition education. Obaseki, while addressing government officials who monitor schools across the state, said his government will continue to partner with all stakeholders to ensure all-round development in the state. That's all from our Joel Model School news deck. Don't forget to bring your child to Joel Model Schools for an education experience that is second to none. My name is Amadi Mavis.
Yes, back here, still on Tuesday update, we have the story from The Guardian, and The Guardian News reported UN Education Summit, how Nigeria can end the learning crisis in schools. How Nigeria can end the learning crisis in schools. Head of state and education sector thought leaders converged in New York City for the inaugural edition of the United Nations Transformation Education Summit, crowdsourcing ideas towards achieving Sustainable Development Goal 4 by 2030. In the Vanguard, still on Tuesday, we have the story, Soludo seeks State Fund's strategic intervention in states' higher education institutions. Governor Charles Soludo of Anambra State called for a strategic partnership with the Tertiary Education Trust Fund, TET Fund, in the delivery of intervention projects in higher education institutions in the state. Now we move on to Wednesday 21st education news as it's featured in the dailies. We have this in the People's Gazette. ASU strike, but Buhari regime does not value education, says Sanusi. The former governor of Central Bank, CBN, Lamido Sanusi, says the APC regime under President Muhammadu Buhari does not value education. He urged the regime to resolve the impasse with the Academic Staff Union of University, ASU. Mr. Sanusi also urged the regime to invest in education to encourage teachers to be at their best. He noted that people now underrate the value of education. In the Vanguard, we have the story, prolonged ASU strike, worrisome, says Methodist prelate and Sanusi. The prelate of Methodist Church Nigeria, Dr. Samuel Kanu Uche, and former Emir of Kano State, Lamido Sanusi, expressed displeasure over the prolonged strike by the Academic Staff Union of University, ASU. They'll move on to this story from the PM News, and they report Taliban replaces Afghan acting education minister, that is on the foreign scene. The Taliban's supreme leader issued an order on Tuesday announcing a reshuffle of several national and provincial positions, including replacing the acting education minister. Now, this day reports this. LASU awards scholarship to 556 first-class students. The Lagos State University, LASU, awarded scholarships to 556 first-class students who are on cumulative grade point average of 4.5 to 5.0 in various faculties of the institution. For the graduating students, they would have 50% refund of their tuition, while the undergraduates would have 50% rebate on their fees. Now, in the Premium Times, we had this feature story, revamping academic book publishing in Nigeria. This story was written by Raman Oladosun. According to the story, the fundamental purpose of book publishing is basically to extend the frontiers of knowledge from one generation to the other and to bring about continuous intellectual development. The article cited that to be equipped for the tests that the years in school will bring, read a textbook. To prepare for the tests that life will bring, read a book on life. The importance of books in general cannot be overemphasized. That is it for the midweek education news updates. Subscribe to our channel to keep track with our videos, and if you are a student, ensure to like, subscribe, and then drop a comment on every video and with your school name and location for our giveaway promo, which will soon be launched. My name is Just Crystal. Let's do this again.